of our Special Victims Unit, an arrest warrant has been issued for Gervonta Bryant Davis on the following charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping. The investigation determined that Mr. Davis used force to restrain and attempt to remove the victim from the location against her will.
Our Gervonta "Tank" Davis arrested in Florida for an alleged domestic violence incident.
Shows an alleged domestic violence incident involving professional boxer Gervonta Davis and his ex-girlfriend. This happened last October inside of a strip club.
I mean, it still looks like he's trying to kind of explain it away.
Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I have a problem with. Like, if you're going to take ownership of it and take accountability for something, just take full accountability. We're watching it live. I'm looking at it right.
Okay, so before we even get started, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now. Because what I'm about to tell you is the kind of story that people in this industry have been whispering about for months. And nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody,
Gervonta Davis woke up behind bars here today after Miami Gardens police officers arrested him yesterday. They have been searching for him for months, and according to police officers, he allegedly attacked one of his ex-girlfriends inside a strip club this past.
Put all the pieces together like this, so buckle up because we are going deep today. And we're talking about Gervonta "Tank" Davis, one of the most electrifying, most gifted, most absolutely chaotic figures in the entire world of professional boxing.
And I'd be lying if I said there was anything I could say that could be in defense of those actions. Tank, you dead and wrong, man. You gotta move better, bro, guy. You got daughters, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens when your children see that, my guy? Don't, like, bruh. And I get it, man. You come from Baltimore. You grew up in a rough environment. You know, your mom's was on drugs. All of that. But at the same particular time, you know better, bro. You know better. And when you know better, you have to do better. And especially as a black man in America, bro, we don't get chances like that, bro. You are in a pristine spot. You got the reins of boxing pretty much open. Canelo's gone, Crawford retired. You know, I ain't gonna say Canelo's gone, but you know, Canelo on his way out. Like, you are one of the biggest names in the sport. You generate multi-millions of dollars. Like, you are a walking business entity, gang. Don't mess up that general.
A man who built himself up from nothing in Baltimore into a legitimate superstar. A man who can sell out arenas, who can move pay-per-view numbers that make promoters salivate, and yet, allegedly, according to reports and widespread online discussion, this same man cannot seem to stay out of his own way. And I know you've heard pieces of this before, but
We're here to address a domestic violence incident involving professional boxer Gervonta Davis, also known as Tank. The victim reported that Mr. Davis grabbed her by her back of her head, pulling her by her hair with one hand and by her throat with the other. He forcefully escorted her down a stairway and toward the parking garage while maintaining his grip on the back of her head. The victim further reported they were previously involved in an intimate relationship for approximately 5 months. Lead detective Gary Florencio obtained and reviewed video surveillance footage that corroborates key elements of the victim's statement. As a result of the diligent and hard work of our Special Victims Unit, an arrest warrant has been issued for Gervonta Bryant Davis on the following charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping. The investigation determined that Mr. Davis used force to restrain and attempt to remove the victim from the location against her will. The Miami Gardens Police Department is actively working with the United States Marshals Fugitive Task Force to locate and apprehend Mr.
what you haven't heard is how all of it connects. How every single chapter of this story allegedly feeds into one giant, sprawling narrative about power, accountability, and what allegedly happens when someone believes they are completely untouchable. So let's go.
This is not his first run-in with the law. Good evening, I'm Lauren Pastrana.
And I'm Jim Berry. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. CBS News Miami's Chelsea Jones is your reporter live in Miami Gardens with the allegations against Davis. Chelsea.
And guys, this happened back in October, according to Miami Gardens Police Department. The ex-girlfriend told officers that Gervonta showed up to her job, which is a gentleman's club in town, and he put his hands on her. And police say that they have surveillance video that corroborates those claims.
Gervonta Davis.
Most people know him as a world champion boxer, but now there's a warrant out for his arrest.
On the following charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping.
The victim told Miami Gardens police Davis showed up to her job at a Miami Gardens gentleman's club.
Because October 2025 is where this particular saga allegedly kicks into another gear entirely, with reports and surveillance footage discussions circulating online suggesting an incident at a Miami establishment that, according to legal documents and widespread media coverage, resulted in formal charges being filed against Davis by January 2026. Charges that allegedly include battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping.
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. You got handcuffs? Hey, the little one inside.
You don't gotta ask me about it.
Well, we need to make sure she's with somebody.
She's okay. She's with somebody.
Okay, listen, I get you that you're upset, but we can't just say. What's your first name? What's your first name? We can't just say that she's just with somebody. We have a duty to make sure that she's with the right people. Okay, so.
And I want you to sit with that for a second, because we are not talking about a parking ticket. We are not talking about a minor misunderstanding. We are allegedly talking about a situation so serious that it became the centerpiece of courtrooms and comment sections simultaneously. And fans online are losing it, debating whether this is a setup, whether this is a misunderstanding blown out of proportion, or whether... And this is where it gets complicated. This is part of a much longer pattern that people around Tank allegedly saw coming. Because here's the twist that reframes everything you think you know. This allegedly isn't the first time Davis has faced domestic-related legal scrutiny, with reports pointing back to a 2022 domestic violence arrest that many casual fans either forgot about or never knew existed in the first place.
The altercation between boxer Gervonta Davis and his ex-girlfriend that landed Davis behind bars. Video from October 2025 at a Miami strip club shows a man who appears to be Davis grabbing a woman by her head and allegedly forcing her toward a parking garage. You can see Davis continue to be aggressive with the woman as they move through the club. Davis is currently facing charges including kidnapping, battery, and attempted false imprisonment from the incident. Charges he's since bonded out on. He's scheduled for arraignment in Miami.
And then, because apparently the universe wanted to make sure we had enough material, there's the 2020 hit-and-run situation in Baltimore, a case that allegedly ended with Davis serving actual jail time after reportedly violating the terms of his home detention. So when you lay it all out chronologically, 2020, 2022, and now allegedly 2025 into 2026, you start to see something that online commentators and sports analysts have been calling a deeply troubling pattern. And look, fans are divided.
Officially has been removed as a full and regular champion. I will put the link in the description. Boxing scene, boom. You never know. Gervonta Davis named the WBA champion in recess, faces decision on the title. Let me explain for those who are not in the know. Gervonta Tank Davis has far worse things outside the ring to worry about than his current title status. However, the WBA officials are planning to keep the line moving in the lightweight direction. Boxing scene confirmed the decision was made for Baltimore's "We Gotta List Two" Tank Davis to be named as champion in recess at lightweight, given his mounting legal troubles. The decision came in the wake of his arrest by Miami Gardens, Florida, Floridian.
Some are writing for Tank no matter what, arguing that fame makes you a target, arguing that powerful people attract powerful accusations, and that is a completely valid conversation to have. But then, breaking, because we have to talk about this, Davis reportedly filed a $20 million counter lawsuit against his accuser, alleging extortion and intentional interference with his professional career.
They have essentially stripped him, right? And let me move this over for you guys. They've essentially stripped Gervonta Davis. They haven't come out and just said it, but Chris Brown voice. Girl, I just want to see you strip right now, cause it's open. Girl, I just want to see. It's pretty much what.
Fool that he was facing from a young lady that accused him of all kind of crimes. Well, he has now countersued her for $20 million, claiming extortion and intentional interference with contractual relations. And we now have facts in his specific statements that she made where Gervonta Davis is claiming she lied to the...
Which, depending on who you ask online, is either the move of an innocent man defending his name aggressively or the most dramatic chess move in a saga that was already operating at telenovela levels of intensity. And either way, you, the viewer, now have two competing legal narratives running simultaneously, a criminal case and a civil countersuit, both unfolding in real time, both with massive financial and reputational stakes. And meanwhile, the
Gervonta Davis getting absolutely screwed over by a bunch of people that were intentionally trying to destroy this man's career, and a bunch of bully criminals trying to extort him out of millions of dollars in exchange for allowing him to have a boxing match. Pure unadulterated scumbagness, according to Gervonta Davis's response to the lady that sued him.
The world didn't just watch quietly because the WBA, the World Boxing Association, reportedly moved Davis to what they call champion in recess status, which is essentially the organization's polite way of saying your legal situation has allegedly made it impossible for us to keep recognizing you as an active champion. And if you know anything about the economics of boxing, you understand that championship status isn't just a belt, it's leverage. It's promotional value. It's the difference between headlining a $80 pay-per-view and being the co-main event.
Gervonta Davis is suing the woman that accused him of battery, kidnap, and the rest. And is saying, and I'm not going to go over the whole thing, I'm going to give you the nutshell, what's important to it. He is saying that this woman lied to the police in her story and told a story to the police that would only make Gervonta Davis look bad and did not provide any information that the police needed to know that would make Gervonta Davis look like, okay, maybe he's not doing this. Now, let's get right to the big banger. What is the piece of information that they did not share? Well, the woman, when she talked to the police station, and we've got a lot of stuff in this, in the police station, she said that she had not talked to Gervonta Davis after this incident, that there had been no further.
So this move by the WBA allegedly hit Tank's brand infrastructure in a way that no opponent ever has in the ring. And analysts who cover the sport professionally have been noting publicly that Davis represents one of the most talent-rich, financially promising careers in boxing history. A man who reportedly built generational wealth through his fights. A man with the
problem. Gervonta Davis says that he has proof that Gervonta Davis spent the night at that girl's house the next day. And not only did he spend the night over, and by the way, he said in order to get into her apartment, she had a secured gate where he has to call up. He called up, she let him up. They spent the night together, and then they went out the next day and took pictures with people laughing and frolicking. It was only days later did her lawyer contact Gervonta Davis's manager and say that extort him, according to them, for
kind of knockout power that makes highlights go viral without any additional drama required. And yet, the drama allegedly keeps arriving anyway, uninvited, relentless, and increasingly expensive. And this is the part where I need you to lean in, because here's the reframe. Here's the twist that changes the entire texture of this story. What if the most dangerous opponent Gervonta Davis has ever faced isn't a fighter, isn't a promoter, isn't even a legal system?
And once I seen her, it's not I grabbed her by her neck. I just told her, I grabbed her like I should, like you gotta get out of here type thing. Like, and I probably was wrong for doing that. I was wrong for doing that. But it wasn't so much of not me trying to hit her, or it's just me. You know how like somebody, you angry at a kid? I'm a fighter. If I touch you in any kind of way, like as far as fists, I'm gonna hurt you. So it wasn't that. It was just me removing her from that situation that she's supposed to be in.
Does Gervonta have an anger problem?
No, I have. I say a little, just a little. Yes, I had to talk to somebody professional, but it wasn't because I had to. It's more so because of the situation that's like in the future. Know how to.
But allegedly the version of himself that exists outside the gym, the version that allegedly makes decisions at 2 a.m. that the version inside the ring would never make. Because that version, the one analysts see on tape, the one who moves like a ghost and hits like a freight train, that version is apparently undefeated and allegedly untouchable. But the other version, the one showing up in court documents and surveillance footage discussions and lawsuit filings, that version allegedly has a record that looks very, very different.
Former native and boxing champ Gervonta "Tank" Davis is sent to jail less than a month after he was ordered to serve 3 months of home detention. He was taken into custody after an impromptu hearing yesterday, and now he will finish his 90-day sentence in the Baltimore City jail. Deputies say Davis violated the terms of his home detention sentence in a 2020 hit-and-run crash. He said his home was too small, so he moved to the Four Seasons Hotel, but did not get permission from the judge. He received his 90-day sentence after pleading guilty in February to a crash that injured 4 people.
And fans online are genuinely asking whether the people around Davis, the team, the inner circle, the yes men that allegedly surround every major celebrity at a certain level of fame, whether any of them are actually protecting him, or whether they're allegedly protecting their own access to his proximity. Because there is a version of this story where Tank Davis is a victim of his own orbit, surrounded by people who allegedly never told him the hard truths. And then there is another version where the accountability has always been right there, available, and allegedly declined repeatedly. And I cannot tell you which version is true. Nobody outside that inner circle can. But what I can tell you is that the public narrative, the one being written right now in real time across sports media, entertainment blogs, and boxing forums, is trending in a direction that is increasingly difficult to reverse. And that matters because legacy in sports is not just about what you do in the ring. It's about the complete picture. It's about what people say when your name comes up at a dinner table 5 years from now. And right now, allegedly, that picture has some very complicated brushstrokes in it. And here's where I drop the final twist that is going to make you rethink this entire video. Because what if, allegedly, the $20 million counter lawsuit is actually the most revealing detail in this whole story? Not because of the money, but because of the framing. Because filing that suit means Davis and his team are allegedly prepared to go to war legally on multiple fronts simultaneously, criminal defense and civil offense at the same time, which requires resources, confidence, and a very specific belief that you can win in a courtroom the same way you win in a ring. And whether that confidence is justified or whether it's allegedly the same untouchable mindset that reportedly got him into these situations in the first place is the question that nobody has answered yet. And so I'll leave you with this. If Gervonta Davis walks away from all of this legally cleared, countersuit victorious, belt restored, and career intact, will the boxing world welcome him back like nothing happened? Or has the alleged accumulation of controversies permanently rewritten how history will remember one of the most gifted fighters of his generation?